Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Hey, so in this video, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys, I got some bad news and I got some bad news. So if you guys have seen my videos, if you're familiar with my channel, I actually have 2 giveaways planned. Pretty good giveaways, man. Some optics, some absolute, NBA.Hoops, Pokemon, and then some contenders on a separate giveaway. But bad news is, man, my dog got a hold of it, man. My dog got a hold of the stuff that I was gonna set aside for the giveaway, and he ripped it to shreds. Nah, I'm just kidding. Guys. We're all set. We're all set. No issues. The giveaways are gonna happen. I'll be posting the winners tomorrow. I added a comment earlier, but I'm gonna be probably posting the winners around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock tomorrow night. But I wanted to give you guys an update, man. Man, this was rough. It was a rough day yesterday card hunting. So this is what I did. I set my alarm to go off, around 4 o'clock, and my alarm goes off, and I'm like trying to get up, but I can't move. Like I couldn't get up, and I was just so tired. So I was like, okay, let me try it for another hour. So I set it for 5. Try to get up, same thing, can't get up. So I'm like, man. So finally get up around 7, get out of the house, head to my local Target. Nobody's there. Nobody's even there before the store opens. So I'm like, man, this could work out. I could be first, So store opens, get in, go talk to the frontline manager, and I'm like, hey, you guys doing the line for virtual cards? The virtual line for trading cards. And she's like, no, we're not gonna do it unless we know for sure the vendor's gonna be here. And I'm like, really? Unless you know for sure? And so I was like, okay, fine. Well, you know what? I was kind of like, man, why don't you just do the line, so that you can just get it done with. Excuse me. So I'm like, man, I can't wait here all day. I gotta go to work. So I'm like, all right, fine. So I leave and get to work. But I checked back a couple times. I called the store and was like, hey, you guys doing the virtual line? No, we haven't heard anything. We don't know if the vendor's coming. We don't know. So I called back again around 10:30, and the lady, no lie, the lady on the phone was like, yes, the vendor is here. The vendor is here. And I'm like getting pumped. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, hey, can you add me to the virtual line? She's like, oh no, you need to come into the store right now. She's like, just come right now. And then I'm not kidding. I think she said she just called the first person. So I'm like, oh man. So I hurry up, get to the store. I live really close to the store. Get to the store. I walk in, and I see the vendor. She's still putting things on the hangers in the cart area. And one of the Target employees was there, and I'm like, are you guys doing the virtual line? And they're like, well, we had people on the virtual line, and they've already gone through. So you can go ahead and pick 3 items. And so I'm looking on the shelf, bunch of Pokemon, bunch of baseball, the Topps baseball. And I'm like, are there any other sports? And before I even got to the last S in sports, the vendor's like, no. And I'm like, okay, let me, let me finish first. I didn't say that, but anyway, so just baseball, just baseball was the only thing left, right? So I'm like, man, I didn't want to buy baseball, no disrespect to the baseball fans out there. But I didn't want to buy, and I wasn't going to buy any Pokemon. So I'm like, all right, I guess I'm out. So I was like, you know what? That's it. No, it's not going to work out today. And they said they only had 4 people on the list. And I'm like thinking, man, I was there. All you had to do was put me on the list. All you had to do was open the list, and I could have been first. So then the thing the thing that really is really bad here is, I get back home, and I got a text from one of my buddies, one of my card hunting buddies, who's in the game. He's in the game. He knows what's going on. And he's like, hey, I heard so-and-so actually just got some Donruss blasters from that store. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Because I was just there. And he says, oh, apparently the vendor had more boxes in the back that she forgot to stock. And I was just like, I mean, I was losing it, man. Man, because I really want some of those blasters. I really want some of those, the new Donruss. I haven't had any luck. So today, you know, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try some other stores. I tried a Rite Aid earlier in the morning. And then I was like, you know what? I'm over here at a different part of town. I'm going to go check out this Target just randomly. I get in there and I see some people kind of just hanging out in the store, and I'm like, this looks familiar. So I finally get to the right Target employee, and I'm like, hey, are you guys doing the virtual line? He's like, yeah, I got you, man. I'm gonna put you on the list. I'm like, okay, cool. And then he adds me, adds my name, adds my number. I'm like, oh, what number am I? He's like, oh, 44. 44. So I'm like, man. And I've never actually been to that Target when they've restocked, but he said the vendor's here. So I'm like, oh man, so maybe I got a chance. So I'm waiting. And the way they did it at that Target is the vendor actually loads everything on like a cart, and they just roll it up to the front, right in the front of the store in the guest services section. And when they started texting people on the line, they were actually texting and calling people's names, and they were just kind of going through the line pretty quick. But man, by the time they called me, no basketball. They actually had basketball, the Donruss cellos, and people were grabbing those. But when I got up there, tons of baseball. It was crazy. Tons of baseball stuff in this huge box. And then Pokemon. And here's the thing. At that store, they only allowed you to get one sport item and one Pokemon. So I was like, man, this is rough. So I ended up grabbing a here, I'll show you guys. I have it right here. Hold on. This is what I grabbed. Baseball Heritage 2021 Blaster. Yeah, so, you know, you guys know, if you don't know, I really like basketball. I'm a football fan. Not a huge baseball fan. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do, guys, with that. I might end up trying to trade that for something else. But that's my story, guys. I know this was kind of a long video, and just a reminder, I've already mentioned it, but we're all good for the giveaway. So if you guys are watching this video tonight, I have 2 giveaways going on. One for the Optic Absolute NBAHoops and Pokemon Sword and Shield, and then I have a separate giveaway for 1 NFL Contenders Cello Pack. So check out my previous videos, and you guys still have a chance to get in on those. I'm going to be announcing the winners tomorrow night. All right. I'm out for today. Hope you guys are all doing well. Man, it's almost Friday. Let's get it, baby. Let's get to that Friday. All right. I'm out. Peace out. CDub's out.